So here's the tea, history got a remix, and Kale was totally ghosted from the records. Everyone gets taught that Linus defeated Erebos, the big bad, by sacrificing himself. Nobody ever doubted this info until now. But when Kale respawns, he checks the history books and realizes he's been cancelled. Let's follow the story of Kale, who realizes he's a nobody now, and hits up Lumen Academy to get his clout back on the heroes registry. A few years flew by since he came back. Cut to the Royal Dawn School classroom. Teaches up front, hyping up the so-called era of heroes. 5,000 years since the registry dropped, and the underworld has seen some crazy updates. Like, Royal Dawn hosting the big Lumen entrance exam. Teach is super stoked, betting that some of these kids are future hero material. He thinks they'll pass and get their names in lights. So he's begging them to focus. But honestly, not everyone cares. Back row kid is snoozing hard. That's Leo, obviously. Teach is totally triggered. He figures if Leo's sleeping, he must already be a genius who doesn't need to study. So he asks about the hero ritual from 5,000 years ago. Leo finally drags himself up and answers like it's no big deal, just saying if you're cool enough, fans just show up naturally. By the way, our guy's full name is Leo Plab, a 15-year-old from the fancy Plab fam. Teach is super bummed by that lazy answer. So he asks the class for a real answer. A teacher's pet shoots a hand up to explain. They say back then, you couldn't just DM the gods. You had to do sacred rituals to get picked as a hero. Like the blood ritual. Teach is loving the details, and thinks Gujaban here is the next magic genius. Gujaban's from House Tratan. Anyway, Leo is sick of this daily nonsense. To him, chilling with gods was nothing special back then, just part of life. The gods once gave a miracle to honor those who fought Erebos, the registry. But Leo's confused why he was totally deleted from the chat. No one. Looks like the reality of his role is finally hitting him. Later, students jam the windows, thirsting for a glimpse of the Singer clan. Strutting down the hall in front is Lady Celia Singer, looking like a total main character. Then the PA system buzzes, ordering everyone to the auditorium for a mandatory assembly, since the Singers are in town. As Leo heads for the door, Wu Yen flags him down, asking if he's gonna try and chase some clout with the Singers. Leo just shrugs, totally checking out. He's not interested in the drama. Dude just wants to bail and go home. That chill vibe triggers Woolivan, who can't believe Leo is skipping a chance to look cool. Woolivan claims he doesn't actually care about the clan, but he's definitely checking out Celia since she's a big deal. Cut to the dojo, where Leo is totally wiped out after swinging his practice stick for hours. He finally grabs his real sword and makes a break for the exit. Suddenly, a woman jumps him, hitting with the force of a freight train. Leo is shocked but barely manages to block the hit. You can tell this isn't their first duel. They've got history, random fights are just a Tuesday for them. She's hyped to fight and says this is the final boss battle before letting him join Lumen Academy. Turns out this absolute unit of a woman is his own mom. She attacks again instantly, steel clashing against steel. While Leo struggles, his mom calmly roasts him for not using his full power. They trade blows, the intensity ramping up with every strike. But eventually, Leo flips the script. His pure skill lets him dominate his mom, forcing her to tap out. She's totally shook by how much he's leveled up. Getting up, she softens her tone and asks why he's so obsessed with Lumen Academy. Quick timeout for some backstory on the school. Lumen Academy is basically the Ivy League for human heroes and holds the hero registry. Leo pretty much bets the academy is the best place to find clues about his past life as a fallen hero. With motivation like that, it's no surprise Leo is desperate to get enrolled. His mom reminds him the Singer crew is crashing at their place, Platt Mansion. Even though she's not exactly thrilled to have guests, she's got a scheme in mind. She wants to hit up Say, the Singer VP, to teach Leo their special technique. She figures with that move, Leo will be cracked enough to get into Lumen Academy next year. But she doesn't realize he's gunning for admission this year. He's got zero patience to wait another 12 months. Later, over at Platt Mansion, Celia Singer is being ushered inside. Stepping out of the carriage, she's instantly confused about why. Dude, her uncle totally crashed at this dump when he could have had a whole hotel. So, yeah, that's Celia Singer, who's 15, and basically a sword princess from the Singer fam. She's super focused on getting into Lumen, and she's side-eyeing how the Platts, like a tiny family, can even help her prep. Just then, Celia's uncle buzzes her. It's Say Singer, by the way, the vice patriarch of the Singer clan, no less. He teases, like, aren't you even a tiny bit curious about Leo, the guy who straight up said he wasn't into the Singer clan? Celia stays super chill, muttering that if Leo's just some knight wannabe who can't even aura up, He's probably, like, whatever. Say's totally not feeling it. He's actually pretty hyped about Leo's potential once they're inside the mansion. Say steps up to greet the Platt fam's heads, trading polite words with Dad. The patriarch and Queen Platt, his wife, the hosts, totally return the vibe, welcoming the singer to their home with equal honor. Then Say officially introduces Celia to Queen and Dave. Celia quickly returns the welcome with a polite intro, saying thanks for having her over. The Queen leans in, taking a sec to check out Celia. She clocks that Celia's, like, a total clone of her dad and uncle, looks and actions. Celia, in return, spots the Queen's super dark hair and fiery red eyes. She quickly figures out the Queen's from the deserting clan, which, makes her Celia's aunt. After that, Say and the Queen, who are totally siblings, sit down to spill the tea and catch up. While chatting, Say drops that he just hit up Dylan's royal school, hoping to get a peek at Leo. But, like, they were bummed to find out he'd already bounced from school, cause he wasn't down to meet anyone. The Queen's like, my bad, for her son, admitting his vibe might have been kinda rude. Say then curiously asks his sis, so, what's Leo really like? Rhea totally gushes about him, swearing Leo's, like, crazy talented. Her answer makes Say wonder if Leo's actually worthy of the Deserting Flames legacy. Rhea keeps hyping up her son, but she's like, I'm not just a proud mom talking here. Leo seriously has the talent and potential for the Deserting legacy. Say's pretty hooked after hearing that. Even though he trusts her, he still wants to test Leo himself, obvi. Later, we find Leo chilling, trying to focus after wrapping up his little ritual. He's telling himself he's finally got a vessel that can hold everything he'll ever need. Leo thinks about why he hadn't learned aura till this point. Turns out, it's all about his body being super unique. Taking aura too early would have made him totally adapt and get all specialized with aura, messing with his mana and soul energy accumulation, both key for his big plan. In his past life, he saw how messed up uncontrolled power could be if he'd fully used his fallen friend's abilities and essence. He wouldn't have left a disaster seed, trying not to make the same mistakes. Leo is dead set on perfecting his control in this life. Step 1, master aura, but he wants to grind it out solo before getting lost in his head. Suddenly, a familiar voice snaps him out of it. He spins around to find Celia Singer grinning with total confidence. She cracks a joke about how he finally gets the basics of training 101. Despite the snark, she offers to coach him in fencing if he's game. But honestly, our guy has no clue who she is. So she drops her name, Celia, the top-tier sword princess. Intro's done, Leo cuts the fluff. He's flattered she cares, but he has zero interest in learning from someone with lower stats than him. She gets super salty, assuming his comment implies he's actually tougher than her. Leo clarifies, in a death match, she wins since he's auraless. But pure swordplay? That's a whole different beast, and he'd wreck her easily. Triggered, Celia grabs a random practice sword. She wants to prove he's full of hot air and plans to humble him in a duel right now. Even if he learns aura, no way he beats her. She just wants to give him a harsh reality check. She bets if she wins this week, he becomes her butler. Leo ignores the shade and asks what's at stake if he wins. She agrees to be his maid if he takes the dub. Deal set, Leo grabs a wood sword and dives in. He swings with crazy speed, but she dodges effortlessly. Still, he notices her speed is actually kinda scary. But Celia thinks that won't be enough to beat her. They clash again, and Leo lands a savage hit that rocks her. She stumbles back, struggling to handle the raw force. His sword shatters on the floor, but he keeps charging. Miss Arrogant starts regretting everything, realizing she can't block this. So, she braces herself to tank the hit. Surprise, 0 damage. She panicked and used aura armor. That wasn't part of the deal since this was strictly fencing, but she won't admit she couldn't dodge. She claims reflexes, but Leo calls it a win anyway. Naturally, this shocks Celia, who refuses to hand over the W. Leo knew it. He drops the bracelets that were nerfing him. Next hit? He smashes her barrier, leaving her stunned. Leo shows zero mercy and lets her feel his true power. Leo's cruising the courtyard when Mom grabs him for a quick intro to Uncle. Leo does the polite head bob. Uncle returns the nod and says hi. They shake on it like gentlemen. Mom mentions Celia. Leo smirks, recalling how she passed out cold from fear. Before he can explain, a knight interrupts with news about the girl. Uncle's shook that Leo beat her without knowing any aura yet. He admits he's totally impressed by the kid. Leo shrugs off the praise, then asks for his winnings. He happily reminds them, loser becomes the servant. So yeah, Celia is his maid for the week. Uncle hates it but gets the code of honor. He reminds Leo she's a singer though, meaning he can't exactly order her to scrub floors. He offers a trade, Drop the bet, and I'll give you a way better reward. Leo rejects it instantly. This is between Celia and me. As a singer, she needs to own her loss. Uncle asks if he's really passing up the singer aura technique. Leo fires back. With sass, a pity gift to save her dignity? No, thanks. Seeing no other way out, the uncle gets a little spicy. He challenges, Leo, you'd enslave a singer and call our technique useless? Stays chill. Yep. That's exactly what I said. Suddenly, Uncle's mood flips. And he asks if that's not a bit rude. Leo clarifies he's not trying to diss the family. If I earned the technique by winning, I'd take it. However, I won't take a bribe just to let her escape consequences. If you bail her out now, it implies she's actually better than me and just slipped up. Leo drops the mic. Even at her best, I'd still crush her. Mom is glowing with pride. Uncle Six is also fascinated by Leo's guts. Rejecting loot just to make a point? That is legendary behavior. He wishes a kid like this was his. He waves the knights over, take her to the servant quarters. Then he turns to Leo and tells him to drop the formalities. Leo heads out. Six turns to his older sister, promising that back home, he'll force their brother to teach Leo the Phoenix breath. Cut to Leo's room. First thing we see is Celia, dying of embarrassment. She's basically dying of cringe as she drops her name, Celia, Leo's new personal maid. For the next week, Leo is honestly living his best life. Weird how his fancy self rocks rags while her dress is just fire. But Celia looks low-key salty when he hypes her looks since she knows she's a baddie. Leo's like my bad, didn't mean to make it weird, but admits his friend was obsessed with aesthetics and it rubbed off. He recalls that buddy yapping about how the beauty of eternity is the goat and he'd spend peacetime spreading vibes. The homie they're talking about is just Owner, that legendary dwarfsmith boss. Suddenly, Celia peeps Leo's book and gets nosy. Leo explains he binge read it back in the day. It's titled The Great Hero of the Beginning. Celia recalls reading that when she was only 5. Seeing she's a fan, she grabs another Kale book off the shelf. Leo drops a hot take, saying, history's big wins aren't usually a solo carry job. He reckons all that credit given to one guy is actually a squad effort over time. TLDR, he hints Kale's stats might include other people's work. But Celia shuts that down, claiming, Kale was likely a poser stealing valor from real heroes. That's the popular take, and she's totally on board. Leo is not here for this Kale slander at all. So he steers away from the drama and decides it's breakfast o'clock. Before training, Celia acts the part, humbly asking to spar. On the outside she's chill, but mentally she's absolutely roasting him. She plays along to figure out his cheat codes. They head to the gym to make it happen. Later, Celia is totally gassed out on the floor. Leo critiques her form right when she crashes. Her lag puts way too many gaps in her defense. That's when she gets exposed. Same old story. Celia doubts this torture is legit training. Leo insists because he thinks Gen Z is soft. See, compared to the OG days, Aura. Tech got buffed so people skip actual leg day. Aura boosts your physical stats. And grinding muscles buffs the aura too. Not wanting to look weak, she gets up to go again. Before charging, she warns Leo that she charges in blindly, but her confident attack backfires when Leo yeets her across the field with one hit. Total faceplant. She's super salty, losing over and over is crushing her ego. Leo holds out a bracelet, and she snatches it immediately. Jokes on her it's got gravity magic. Heavy as a truck. Leo smirks like an evil villain revealing his master plan. He wants her to wear that brick 24/7, hardcore training. Next day, Six watches Celia struggle. It looks absolutely brutal. Uncle thinks this torture is great prep for Lumen Academy. Honestly? Her massive pride needed a serious reality check. Then he pings Leo with some spicy good news. He's gonna ask the boss to let Leo inherit the Phoenix breath. Leo freezes. That skill is legendary family stuff. It is basically the root of their whole power system. Usually, only top-tier family members get to learn it. Celia figures her dad will definitely say no way. Six knows that, so he throws Leo a challenge instead. Pass the Lumen entrance exam, and the technique is yours. Celia hates this idea, like, she really hates it. To her, Leo's just a brat who can't even use aura. Since the exam is actual combat, he could get wrecked. Leo admits he has zero combat experience on paper, but that ignores his past life where he was a beast. Six waits for an answer, and our boy says bet. Parents sign off on the deal, and boom, a week flies by. Exam day hits. The crowd spots Celia immediately. She stands out like a celeb among the regular students. Celia nudges Leo, asking if he is sweating bullets yet. After playing servant for so long, she is stuck in that mode. She keeps calling him master out of habit, so awkward. Suddenly, a loud, annoying voice grabs her attention. He is here for Celia but pauses when he sees Leo. He throws shade at Leo immediately, thinking he's trash. Since Leo has no aura, this guy thinks he doesn't belong. Then he turns to Celia, trying to be all charming, but the duo ignores him like he is invisible. Brutal. Flustered, he stammers, "I'm woven. We met before, remember?" Celia has no clue who he is and drags Leo away. Suddenly, they are interrupted by two siblings stepping onto the scene. The tall guy is Abad Leylan, 16 years old. Beside him is Chelsea, 14, sharing the family name. Celia seems to know them, but Leo is totally lost. Celia explains they are VIPs from a famous hero bloodline. Celia seriously fuming to see those two creeps and warns Leo that since the Leland twins are playing, losing isn't an option. No shot. She lets the Singer clan flop against the Lelands. Leo's barely listening though. He's Team Plab, not Singer, so whatever. The twins say hi. Celia gives him the icy shoulder. She introduces Leo as Plab nobility from Daft to Flex. But Abad hears no title and treats Leo like a total rando. The siblings pivot fast. Bail and yell, "We're taking first place, losers." Celia's mad salty and wants to absolutely wreck them now. Suddenly, some guy from Lumen Academy jumps on stage, stealing the spotlight. He's like, "I'm Professor Alvasaron." Celia's totally fangirling, but Leo's clueless and looks bored. Celia's triggered that Leo doesn't know him. She starts explaining like, he's in the heroes registry. A literal legend. Leo squints to scan the guy and sees insane mana in his left eye. Prof. Albi then starts yapping about the exam rules. He says usually there are two parts. One-on-one fights and monster hunting. Normally, you take turns being bored. But Albi's like, that's tedious, and proves it. He torches his notes instantly. Old rules? Gone. He whips out an old book and casts Prologue, Wild Forest. A massive, magic circle glows under everyone's feet. The crowd is confused. What's his deal? One thing's sure, Albi hates wasting time. He says he's merging all tests into one chaotic raid. Turns out, the heroes registry isn't just a list. It spawns a world filled with past heroes XP. Log in, and you might inherit some powers. Basically, it's a hero training sim. Zap. Everyone gets ported to the wild forest. Prof shouts, "Goal, survive. Team up or fight, just don't die. Wanna quit? Smash your orb to exit, that's it." Leo scans the area and goes, "Wait, I know this map." Just like his flashback files. Used to be elf turf before Queen Solota snagged it. Others wanna bail, thinking it's just a fake glitch. But our guy isn't vibe checking that. Even if it's a memory, the damage is 100% real. The savage traps here will wreck you if you slack off. Speaking of, Leo senses a creeper and gets jumped by an arrow that totally nukes the floor. He dodges. The shooter? It's Chelsea Leland. Looks like she's tagged him as a Singer rival and wants him gone. Leo's like, "Nah, I'm Team Plat, chill." She calls Cap since she saw MW, Celia. Zero chill, she starts blasting magic. Leo digs the spell, didn't exist back then. But the basics? Same old boring stuff. Chelsea's salty cause he's acting so zen. Trying to rattle him, she goes beast mode on him. Leo parries it like a pro with his sword. Her blade just flops to the dirt. She's shook. Dude didn't even use aura. How? He just trolls her wounded ego. Calls her move basic, says let's team up. Surviving longer means scoring big points. So, magic girl here. Should try passing before getting booted. She claps back, bragging she's a battle mage. Triggered he called her moves basic. Feeling the burn, she goes all out to wreck him and flex her skill. Total whiff. Leo ghosted that spot already. The real gag? Zero mana signals. She can't track him. Bam, Leo's right in her face. Fist loaded. Did he smash her scared face? Who knows? But she buckles. Total KO for our boy Leo. Still, he hits her with team invites open if you change your mind. Cut to teachers streaming the brawl live. They're hyped up. That Chelsea's getting cooked. No mercy. Leo's tied her up, looking totally sus. He even starts a fire. Night falls, flames get big. He struts over to the damsel tied to the tree. Fire freaks her out, but teaming up saves her skin. But she's stubborn as a mule and screams, "No way." Says she only vibes with her bro. Nobody else. Tries wind magic, but Leo already nerfed her. Though, he's totally bluffing and running on fumes. Won't last long. Finally, she cracks. Thinks she can bolt without magic. Leo knows better. He's watching her like a hawk so she doesn't try it. Any funny business? He cranks up the heat. Her clothes start smoking. That does it. She quits stalling and teams up. But talk is cheap. Leo isn't buying it. Demands a family oath. She caves fast. Pledges on the Leland name to be chill. He cuts her loose and catches her before she roasts. Cut to the teachers spying on the feeds. Kids are trying, but Teach isn't impressed. Thinks everyone choosing to fight each other is totally cringe. Only Celia and Abad show real skill by teaming up. That gives him a bit of hope that this class isn't hopeless. Then he spots Leo and Chelsea. Leo catches his eye. Even if that fire prank was pretty childish, taming her earns him a passing grade in Teacher's book, since he lacks the raw power of the others. But Teach is dead wrong. Our boy wrecked Celia easy. Anyway, Leo's the total dark horse here. After clobbering some mobs, the duo moves out. Seems like Chelsea finally starts realizing teaming with Leo isn't a total fail. She asks about his aura since he has 0 mana. Leo casually admits he has no clue how to use aura. That totally blows her mind. As they chat, a creeper monster stalks him nearby. Chelsea spots the creep and blasts it. Instantly, not gonna lie, total overkill for a scrub. Leo admits she's strong but her form is trash. Leo gets a weird vibe and yells freeze. He notices a glitch, crouches down to find dry dirt and dead bodies. Boom. Explosion. Leo dodges, grabbing her. The sneaky campers who set the trap show up. Look who it is, William and his goons. Dude has major beef with Leo, so of course he's here to start drama. He sicks a minion on Leo, and the idiot actually listens. Big mistake, cause he runs straight into a feint. Brutal smackdown from Leo. Bam. Faceplant. Leo stands there with total main character energy and tells Chelsea to chill. Chelsea's shook. He saved her times easily? 2 for 2. She snaps out of it, hopping behind him to fight the rest. Meanwhile, Kuyaban does his signature move, running away like a wimp. He ditches his crew, sprinting to get as far from Leo as possible. All he's thinking is, I need backup, fast. Just his luck, Celia spots him from way out. She doesn't chase, she just strolls toward where he came from. When they get there, total shocker. Monster guts everywhere, plus students who got absolutely wrecked. Chelsea's pumped to finally find her bro. Celia grills Leo instantly, what's the deal with you and Chelsea? Leo puffs his chest. We teamed up. My call. Celia ain't buying it. She'd sooner believe a roach did a backflip than buy that. He got Chelsea, the stubbornest goat ever, to agree to this. Leo gives a creepy smirk. I can be very persuasive. That wicked grin freaks Celia out. What the heck did he do? Anyway, dude goes to help the kids he just floored. Hauls him right up. Abad's confused. Why help the bad guys? Leo's like, chill. No point fighting each other. We gotta team up to very team up. Beat this crazy world, not scrap like idiots. The squad looks blank. What challenge? Leo points at the bodies. That problem. One kid looks closer. Whoa, they look totally dried out. Leo nods. That's not the only weird vibe here. He notes the place feels totally dead. Like the monsters dipped cause a boss monster showed up. As the puzzle clicks, Abad finally gets the picture. Legend says the hero's first win is beating a boss monster. Right then, boom. A massive, creepy roar echoes nearby. It rumbles through the trees, making everyone tense up. Clearly, the beast is coming out to play. Meanwhile, Kuyaban trips through the woods, torch shaking, terrified. He's in deep trouble, but his tiny brain wants revenge on Leo more than, like, staying alive. He spots a body at his feet. And something's lurking behind it. A shadow trips him. He looks up. Giant monster. Giant spider alert. And it looks like it skipped lunch. Woolavan is toast. Anyway, let's check on the prof. Albie and the squad. Turns out a whopping 500 kids flunked hard. He needs 100, but only 50 survived. Big yikes. But the prof isn't settling. He only wants the elite vibes. I mean, the big boss trusts his gut to pick the absolute goats. Albie digs clutch heroes. He's eyeing Leo, the dark horse. Real question is, can this underdog survive the test? Back to the panic room with the kids. Everyone's stumbling around in the pitch black. Chella's sword glows up. Yo, what is that? The red light hits a massive spider snacking on a dude. Everyone freezes, but Abad rushes in, magic blazing. Leo grabs him. Chill. Guan, smash the crystal. Guan's almost spider food and totally paralyzed. He cracks the blue gem zap, electric mouthwash. With the opening set, Ab blasts his Raphael spell right at the beast. Hits hard, but the thing just shrugs it off. The crew is shook. This isn't a normal fight. That's the spider princess, and she's hangry. One kid tries a reckless tackle. Bad move. She swats him like a fly. Faceplant City. Celia steps up, acting all high and mighty. Thinks she can one-shot it with her ult. Blasts a red laser beam right through it. Ouch. But Spidey's a tank. Heals up instantly. Epic fail. Abad starts roasting her immediately. Knights are weak. Watch a real mage work. He throws a swirling wind blade. Slice and dice. Dust clears. And the spider's just glaring. Sensing his bro is cooked, Chelsea flings wind magic to save him. Still, Abad gets sliced by a claw. Nasty. She cushioned the hit, but rushes over to check. Nearly lost an arm. Nothing works on this regen monster. Total panic sets in. As the Spider Queen creeps in for the kill, Leo steps up. That's Solo's kid, fam. A legendary beast that torched the elf woods. Leo noticed the professor's magic eye earlier. It had Fairy King vibes. This spider is royalty. She didn't just trash the elf woods, she ate the Fairy King's rebel bestie too. Thought Luna totally wrecked that spider. Spoiler, she actually didn't. That creepy crawler lived by snacking on the Fairy King's sidekick, who held the Ring of Life, basically an infinite battery. Abad is stubborn as a brick wall, and thinks he has to solo the boss just because it's an exam. He and Celia start spamming attacks, hoping to win without help. The spider tanks the hits, but Leo knows it's pointless since the thing has infinite health regen. Honestly, they're gonna run out of mana way before they hurt it. Celia asks him what the game plan should be. Leo says they need a combo move, but his idea gets instantly shut down by Abad, who wants all the glory for himself. Celia is just as bad. They're both acting like toddlers. Our boy drops a truth bomb. Team up or fail the class. Hard. That finally gets through to Abad, who considers the team up idea but worries a one-shot kill takes too long to charge. The issue is, since nobody else can stall the beast, jumping in is a tough call. Leo pipes up, claiming he can buy them some time. Celia thinks he's lost it since he has 0 aura skills. Still, Leo swears he can last 5 minutes max. Mage Abad worries their combo attack might flop by then. But Leo is super confident, grabbing a random weapon off the floor. He says wind and fire mix great, so it'll work despite their drama. The Sword Princess and the Wizard whiz buddy up, while Leo eyes the ugly bug like a nostalgic challenge. Our guy kicks off the brawl by slicing one of its legs clean off, shocking the other 2 students. Then he smashes its face in, stoked to find this specific monster. Jumping into a flashback, we see a terrified elf kid crying and running for his life. Sadly, the beast webs him up, sticking him tight in the net. 0 chance of getting out. The spider rushes over, ready for a snack. The kid cries for mom, but then a shiny hero shows up to block the hit. Luna, mad at the beast trashing her home and eating the guy who was basically the elf forest VP, blasts the fanged freak with light magic. Her spell cages Tardos before dropping a massive lightning pillar. Luna didn't see the ring army coming to take over the woods. Back then, OG Leo freed the kid and helped him bail from the web. Let's get back to the action. Standing there, axe grip tight. Got a stall for the squad. But without his aura? He's kinda useless right now. Leo yells at Chelsea to spam elemental weapon magic as soon as possible. He barely jukes a hit, thanks to his insane speed. Chelsea freaks out that she might accidentally hit him. Leo's like, chill, I'm fast, just do it already. She revs up magic. Leo's not picky, anything sharp works. She conjures gear. Scimitar? Sword? He's just guessing. Dual wielding, he goes berserk. Weapons break on impact. Chelsea eats another. 1 over. He snags a dagger and battle axe mid-air. Leo's moves are so cracked Chelsea thinks he's a pro. Even Avid admits the dude is totally OP right now. Not god mode though, a sharp cut nicks his face. Leo thinks, die to a spider? The roast would be eternal. He ramps up the hype. And slashes, screaming for a reload on weapons. Bummer, Chelsea's out of inventory. He's shook. Luckily, Celia's ult is finally charged up. She blasts a fire spiral, toasting the bug. Loot drops. Dusts himself off. Monster down. Finally, Celia flops, relieved, but stunned Leo tank for 5 mins. Celia tries to hype him, but Chelsea beats her to it. She's a total stan now, calling his moves legendary level. Leo shrugs it off, but this girl is fangirling hard. Since she wants to main battle magic, she asked for lessons. Funny enough, Celia hopes Chelsea gets exclusive torture training so she knows what real pain is. Anyway, he grabs the ring. Prince Sid pops out as a fairy. Hearing his name, the prince zips back in and dubs Celia the fairy queen. All cause Prof Albie found the Mona Eye. Trial timer starts. Stage cleared, Fairy King's oath unlocked. Before porting out, Leo spots a face from his past life. Cut to Director Bodhi and checking the Western exam stats. Assistant asks how many survived Albie's strict grading. The director is actually shook to see that. 40 passed. Kinda low, but he's not too salty since he bet on like 10 max passing. Still a dub. Celia and Abbat were the expected MVPs. The director heard some tea that someone got nominated as Rep of the Year. Shocking that Albie of all people vouched for a kid. They bet it's gotta be a Singaro Leland student. Turns out, some total rando smoked both Celia and Abbat. Cut to the prof, eyeing the new kid's skills like a hawk. He tagged Leo Plab as the Knights rep. The director's jaw basically hit the floor. Prof kept hyping the guy up, specifically, calling his talent straight up hero tier. Exams done, so our boy's chilling in a sauna. His loot? The Fairy King's Oath. Usually, heroes get zip, but they made a weird exception. Leo's totally lost. Then boom, his mom's standing there. She asks if he knows why she got booted for saving a pal. She went full flame mode and lost it. Zero regrets, though. Nope, not even now. She tells her only kid to aim that crazy talent correctly. Plus, she's super hyped he got into the academy. Hitting up Rainy City, the students get told to grab their junk and exit the Lumia gate. It's the world hub, home to the fancy Lumen Academy. Leo lands, and his uncle shows up with a congrats. Leo asks what's up, finding out that Singer House is locked in a month-long debate drama. He asks the kid if he knows what the beef is about. Leo guesses it's the Phoenix Breath inheritance thing. His uncle's like, bingo. His sis is out, but Leo's still her kid. Plus, the elders are shook he passed that brutal Western exam. Leo gets handed a subspace key and instantly activates it with a command. A book pops out. Uncle says to smear some blood on it. Leo does as he's told. He bites his thumb, dripping blood on the page. Blood locked. Now he sees secrets nobody else can. Singer moves are hard, but Unc thinks he'll crush it fast. So with that, he officially welcomes him to House Singer. Later, Celia texts Leo to meet at some random spot. Bam! He crashes into a girl. Books fly. She panics, apologizes, runs. Leo spots her ID card, grabs it, and sees the name Chloe Muller. She's a freshie. He finds Celia salty about shopping late. He says sorry, explaining he randomly ran into his uncle, grinning like an idiot. Celia gets nosy and asks what the deal is. He casually rips out family flames. She stares, totally speechless. Leo's totally cracked, nailing that secret move in under a month. His mad skills left her totally shook, asking if he's even real later on. Prince's sword and hero guy spot a ship pulling up. Prof on and do, Night Teach, yells to board the boat as soon as possible. Heading to Lumen soon, the trip starts with everyone just chilling out. Leo and Celia look cozy, so some dude ticks her off. He's a Mora alchemist selling all kinds of junk. Tries to hustle them for school supplies. Leo drops his name, saying he's just a student repping the Age Kingdom. Thomas is shook. They ace the hard Western test. Leo calls out the super weird vibe in the room. Way too chill, even if Celia thinks it's normal. Freshies just off passing the exam. He eyes Teach while Thomas backs Celia up. Then bam, ship rocks as a huge tentacle pops up, nearly squashing Thomas. Kids scream for help. Teach just sips his drink, mocking him, asking if they need a hand. Says Academy kids gotta clutch up when danger hits. It's a solo mission against a total gross out. A massive kraken staring them down. Hero dude stays chill, slicing the tentacle like butter. Celia's slaying too with fiery sword moves. Kraken shoots water, soaking her totally. It grabs screaming Thomas. Leo and Celia rush to slash it. Greedy alchemist is shook since he knew Prince's sword would wreck it solo, but didn't think the other kid was this savage. Frozen tentacle nearly ends Thomas. He yells at his savior. Chloe. Glasses girl who bumped our guy. She's ice bending, holding the beast back solo. She roasts the alchemist for being dead weight. Thomas claps back. Her type ignores the weak tentacle smashed. Now Chelsea's duo joins the fun. Their clan beef isn't over yet. But Battle Mage Girl is eyeing our guy. Fighting lake monsters on the way to school. Teach calls it a great welcome for freshies. Sipping wine, he rates the top students. Chelsea, Celia, Abad, Chloe, Duran. Captains are killing it. But one student is totally outshining the rest. A freshie with 0 legendary skills, world-class stuff. His sword game is cracked, dodging like he's got hacks on. Teach is hyped to see him go full beast mode. So, the N0B alchemist burns potions way too fast. Off the boat. Teach hopes they can throw hands with monsters. Cause they gotta grind daily. Now, peep the fancy lobby. Lumen's gyms? Absolutely insane leveling spots. Crowd is thirsty for some freshy drama. Big fancy intro ceremony kicking off now. Knights line up. Boss wants captains front and center. Director watches, expecting epic plays. From the wannabe heroes. He tells them, wanna be strong? Risk it all, fam. Break limits or die. Asterisk punches ground asterisk. Director thinks if they can't handle that basic stuff, they should just quit. Then boom, instant sweet grandpa vibe. Like he didn't just terrify him. Why so quiet? His sword saint rep is tanking hard, lol. Next up, speech from the rookie leader. Freshies are dying to see who it is. Not the popular kids. Nope. It's Leo. Even he's like, wait, me? He glares at Professor, totally his fault. Leo walks up to mic drop the seniors. Everyone's whispering, who's this rando? Zero clue what his deal is. Speech done, they ask, so what's the goal? His plan? Troll the entire student body. Leo starts off all polite and chill, tricking Teach into thinking it's boring. Till he screams, come at me if you want this job. This savage flex triggers the elites. Leo? Zero cares given. Mic dropped, everyone heads to bed. Tomorrow starts a week of random classes. Free trial mode before picking main stats. Better sleep or regret that 8 a.m. class. Leo's bunking next to Thomas, who's geeking out about school. Night. Leo crashes, brain running wild on goals, using his VIP spot at school to hunt his lost hero logs. Next day, Tommy sits with our chill MC at lunch. Leo gets jumped by some random weirdo he doesn't know. It's Duran from Central, acting all tough and checking if Leo's big talk was for real or just fluff. Leo knows he kinda poked the bear on purpose. I mean, he basically dared the guy to throw hands. Duran thinks he's hot stuff, but Leo's just chillin', sipping his juice like whatever. Duran gets salty, yeets a super loud kick, and sends the table flying. But Leo's fast as lightning and catches all the food mid-air to build a burger. Total boss move. Snacking mid-fight, Leo trolls him about not wasting a free meal. Can't drop it. Duran's seeing red, ready to unalive him right now. His ego's bruised cause he thinks a freshie shouldn't be this good. Then Teach steps in, hugs him both like bros, and drops their ranks casually. Since they're top dogs of the region, Teach says they gotta pay the price for brawling on day one. You can see it on their faces, they are totally doomed. Fast forward to Cayenne class. Celia's stressin' cause Leo is AWOL. Then he shows up looking like a zombie. Celia spots the mess and figures he got into a scrap. Leo keeps his mouth shut for now. Class starts and the night shift Teach introduces himself. Thomas sees Don beefing with Leo while Teach yaps about the 3 mana powers. First is magic energy, second is soul juice, and lastly, the aura stuff. Aura is supposedly the hardest to master. Celia says it's cause you lose mana flow when switching it up. She's right since magic and soul vibes use raw mana. But aura soaks up mana and hacks it to fit the bod. Teach shows off his glow up and asks if any scrub knows how to use body aura. Celia thinks hard but draws a blank. The rep speaks up, you gotta burn mana to fuel the aura. He nailed it, so the instructor digs deeper, asking what's the key to burning mana. Leo snaps back, it's resistance. Teach is shook by his brain and asks if he's studied this before. Turns out, nope. Which is crazy impressive. Dude never studied it but totally gets the vibe anyway. Done with the boring lecture, the Teach decides it's workout time. He pops an aura step wave, basically focusing power in the legs. Teach lands on the floor and hypes up how aura can do basically anything. Kids mess around, sparring and showing off skills to one another. While Celia bugs our boy, promising aura lessons if he just calls her big sis. Leo ain't sweating the need for help, figuring he already gets the gist of aura. Teach spots Duran nearby and decides it's prime time to bring up that wild drama from the lunchroom earlier. Clueless peeps like Chelsea are lost, while Thomas hypes the mystery up even more. Teach drags both Leo and Duran up front immediately. He grills Duran, asking what's got his panties in a twist. Duran blows him off, so Teach drops a killer idea to settle it. He pits the central captain against the first-year rep in a foot race showdown. All this just to figure out who's actually fit to run this squad. Teach says, go nuts with aura, no limits, which basically hands the win to Duran. Race day hits, and Thomas, the hustle king, is already taking bets from everyone. In this corner, Mora house genius and lightning whiz, Duran. Facing him, the dark horse with zero fancy backstory. The dude who skipped rank to be first-year rep, Leo Plav. The crowd expects big moves from the new rep guy. But then, total letdown, he can't even do a basic step move. Now everyone thinks he's a fraud and that the central captain guy should totally be the boss instead. Sensing the mood, Teach lays down the law. First to the finish wins, loser eats dirt. No crying aloud. It's go time, folks. Celia's worried Leo's toast. Duran's all about speed and that crazy fast lightning aura. Despite the bleak odds, she hopes Leo flips the script and does the impossible. Prof yells go, and they blast off. Duran sparks up his aura, cocky that his speed will totally smoke Leo.